you see that you're trying to answer? What are some of those questions Ugandans are having that your books are trying to answer?
Absolutely. I'll take you a ride through one of the books called Wontubula Mandelo. This book basically lays the foundation of what we need to go back in terms of what our law was as Africans. Because those of you who may have some knowledge about constitutional law, we have what we call the Order in Council and then the exception clause. Many of the laws that we have today are grafted on a foreign law, and that law is not our law. Our law was negated, was suffocated, and was thrown into the dams. So my argument in terms of legal realism, trying to make an emphasis in terms of encouraging Africans to go back to ourselves, to understand ourselves. Because when we go back and understand ourselves, then we shall have cultures and norms that actually thrive out of our traditions. This will help us to rediscover ourselves. Most of the nations, by the way, that have actually made a mark on this country or in this world today have been nations that have actually grafted on their own ideals. Take an example of China. You go talk about the Asian giants, all those, they have actually embedded their education system into their own culture and norms, and that has given them a foundation and a basis under which to excel. We, on the other hand, what we have today is an inception of what comes out of what comes out
just
of
from we,
yes.
we on the other hand.
We, on the other hand, are simply grafters. We have been grafted on a foreign ideology, and we propound ourselves on ideologies that are relayed by other people. Yet, these people that we so much thrive on are actually interested in only ravishing or perhaps throwing away our customs. Let me read you something very interesting. A quick one here. Very simple. From this book called Wontubula Mandelo. This is something that was written way back in 1835. This is a statement led by Lord Macklin, who was addressing the British Empire Parliament on 2nd February 1835. In passing, this is what he said. He says, "How can we conquer these people?" He said, I've traveled across the world. I've never seen people who lack nothing, people who had such high caliber, people of such resilience and tenacity. But the only way we can conquer them if we go back and tell them that what they have is bad, their culture is bad, their color is bad, and then they shall be truly a dominated generation. The religion itself was actually used as an ambit to propagate their own ideology. So I'm advocating from some kind of African reconnaissance, if you like. So my argument is premised on those ideologies. We need to discover ourselves. This is the time to make a discovery of who Africans are and what we can do as Africans.
So Uganda that we have today, after realizing that we need to discover ourselves, okay, what is that going to take? What does it take in the Uganda today, the context we have today? Because some of these institutions have already been established. Yeah, we have some of them are thriving, some of them are not, or should I say most of them are actually suffering. Okay, but what should then Uganda, what next, what can Ugandans then do thereof after being enlightened?
Good question. Perhaps for starters, Ugandans must embrace the culture of reading. There used to be a saying that if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. And that's the problem. The culture of Africans is that we don't want to read, and that's the problem with us. And yet, if we only put our minds to reading, we will be able to discover many things. You see, necessity is the mother of all invention. All these so-called countries that we pride on and want to imitate have resonated from a culture of reading and discovery. Innovation is the mother of invention, like they say. So if we don't have that culture of reading and that culture of research, that idea of trying to go think out of the box and throw the box away, then we're not going to free our minds. Our minds have been captivated where we understand. Listen to the word, understand. Meaning, we should not understand because we have put a limitation, but we should overstand. There's a difference between understanding and overstanding. So those are arguments I'm saying. We need to pride ourselves in the fact that we are not any different from the white man. We're not any different from any other society. But what limits us is the potential that we have in us. We have in us the zeal, the desire to excel. All we need to do is to simply light that fire in us, and that fire will explode. So that's the kind of message that I would like the African people to understand today.